Hey folks, first of all, a heartfelt thank you to all the wonderful messages and well wishes on Cranberry Leadership's 5th anniversary when I started this journey. I could not have imagined the depth of connections, the insights, and the stories that would come out of working with so many talented and resilient leaders around the world. It's just been an honor and a privilege, and I thank every single one of the scores of people that we worked with and worked for and worked around. But as I reflect on these 5 years, there's three major things I want to just throw out there that have been in my mind for the last 6 months as the key learnings that we've taken from this journey. And number one, for all of you folks that are out there working in these pressure-filled environments, the pressure is real and it's powerful. And there's no way around it. The weight of expectations of global leaders is immense, whether it's a financial investment on their assignment, the high stakes of company success, or the subtle and unrelenting pressure to prove your worth. As foreign leaders, the pressure can either drive people to new heights or break them down. And I've learned that it's not about avoiding pressure at all. It's not about anything like that. It's about learning to ride the waves without losing your balance. And I like to call it pressure surfing. It's about swimming as hard as you can through the choppy waters, through the pain and the learning, and then turning around and riding that wave back in to a level of success because you take the time to look at the ecosystem as it stands, to look at your team and how they're reacting to you, to look at the results and to give a good, solid assessment of what you've done right and also what you've done wrong. There's no eliminating stress, but there's harnessing it without being consumed by it. And that's easier said than done. And those who manage to navigate it are often the ones who realize that empathy and curiosity are not nice to haves. They're critical tools in handling the pressure, which brings me to point number two. And you can roll your eyes all you want. You know who you are. Empathy is a business skill. Here's the thing. Leadership is not about hitting the numbers. It's about understanding the people who got you there. And over the past 5 years, I've seen leaders try to bulldoze through cultural differences, language barriers, conflicting expectations, only to find themselves further disconnected from their teams and their own success. The most effective leaders that we've worked with are the ones who invest in the understanding and perspective of others, not because it's the right thing to do, but because it drives results. Hard business results. Empathy is not an emotion, it's a strategy. And when it's done, it becomes a business force multiplier, allowing leaders to bridge gaps and build real lasting trust with their teams, which is not easy in a foreign ecosystem where you're communicating in a second language and a third culture, and it's just not easy. And the third thing is that curiosity owns the day. Pressure itself, intense pressure that you have in assignments, it tends to tamp down curiosity. It tends to tamp down your willingness and your want to ask questions. If there's one thing that separates the global leaders that we've worked with from the ones who struggle, it's this: the willingness to be curious. Not just curious about culture or the market or the strategy, but curious enough to question their own assumptions and their own blind spots. And many of the toughest mistakes I've seen and made were not the result of bad intentions or lack of effort, but they were born out of a lack of curiosity, the lack of courage to ask, what don't I know yet? Or how can I see this from another angle? That's what ultimately shapes a leader's journey. It's what helps them grow beyond their biases and see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to learn and to adapt. So those are the three things that come to my mind so hard in the last 6 months as I reflect on this first 5 years of our journey together. I want to thank you all for being a part of this journey with us, to the scores of people that we've been able to help, we've been able to learn from, we've also been able to work with their teams. It's been a privilege to work alongside you and witness our collective growth, our collective challenges, and our collective triumphs. And let's just keep riding those waves together and navigating the pressure, leading with empathy, staying endlessly curious about what's next. That's what matters in this business. So take care, and thanks again for your continued support. And here's to many years of learning and working together.